guess this is our second video for ETC Labs from the Emerald City, the immutable fortress, where code is the law of the land and the grass is always greener. It's a not so sunny day in San Francisco. I'm with Moshe Chadmon from Anylog. Moshe, great to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me here.
So, let's get into it. What's Anylog?
Well, Anylog is a project aiming at changing the way companies interact with IoT data. If you look at the way IoT data is being managed today, you would see a very non-uniform and complex infrastructure. A little bit about the history. Companies started by pushing the data into the cloud. But there are two problems in pushing data to the cloud. The first one, the cloud doesn't give you a real-time environment to manage your data. And in many applications, think about vehicles driving and generating data, you want to be able to interact with the data in real time, or even in an assembly line, you want to track failures immediately or different problems in real time. So pushing data to the cloud is not a real-time, the cloud is not a real-time environment. The second problem with the cloud is that it's expensive. If you take all the IoT data today and push it into the cloud, companies tried to do it and very quickly saw that the cost of it was higher than the value that they were able to extract from the data. And therefore, companies decided not to immediately push the data to the cloud, but start with managing the data at the edge of the network, next to where the devices are, next to where the data is being generated. So if you look at how IoT data is managed today, you will see that some of it is managed at the edge of the network, and there are multiple layers. I don't know if you heard about edge computing and cloud computing. Those are processes that are done with data at the edge, and then at some point, some of it is being pushed to the cloud. But that ends up with a multi-tier architecture where the data is managed in a different way in different places of this path between the devices and the cloud, which creates a very complicated setup and environment for the data in a non-uniform environment.
So when was the realization that using blockchain was the solution to the cost barrier that cloud represents, the fact that cloud can't update in real time? Where was that moment, that spark of inspiration where you realize, this can be solved by using the blockchain?
So I was working with IoT data for years. My previous company was called ScaleDB, which was a database company, which is now with the largest provider of IoT backend software.
Okay, so you've been around the block on
I've been, and 2 years ago, I got fascinated by the blockchain and the technology and the ideas that it brought. And my thought was that there has got to be a way to apply these ideas and this new way to deal with data, not only to financial transactions, but also for data transactions. And then I was spending a lot of time of it, and I assembled a group of some of the leading researchers in the world to look at some ideas that I had, and that was the beginning of Anylog. We were able to figure out a way that would manage the IoT data, which is basically time series data, leveraging the same innovation and same ideas that the blockchain brought.
It's incredible whenever you can take your existing job and figure out a way to connect it to the new innovations that are happening.
Yeah, I think this really surprised me. I first, a partner of mine told me, you've got to look at the blockchain, you've got to look at the blockchain. And when I looked at it, I saw something which was, over 20 years working in managing big data and building platforms. And that was really the first time in my entire career that I saw something which was completely different and brought new ideas that were never there before.
And on the new idea, it was a quantum leap for you to realize that you need to be using blockchain. What was part of the thinking that to specifically use Ethereum Classic?
Well, I looked at different blockchains and different companies, and then I realized that Ethereum Classic is very interested in IoT, and they have people that are looking very carefully and trying to understand what was going on in that area and how can IoT could leverage the blockchain. And so when I saw that, and when I had my team of researchers and this new idea that explained how to, or showed that IoT data could manage super efficiently using the blockchain, I suggested ETC to discuss this concept with us and look if this is something that would also intrigue ETC. And I got great feedback, and it looked like a perfect match between my experience, the technology that we're developing, and ETC and ETC Labs.
Yeah, it sounds like part of the decision to join ETC, to build on Ethereum Classic, was the labs. That it helped that there was someone to talk to.
Absolutely. I mean, it's really a matter of partnership and collaboration. And so I'm a data guy. Throughout my career, I build infrastructure to manage big data. And that's what I know. And I was looking for a partner that could represent the blockchain side and implement the blockchain side of the solution that is needed, and could support the blockchain. And I'm very excited.
Awesome. Score one for ETC Labs for being a partner to bring in Anylog to build on our chain, on the ETC chain. So outside of having a conversation, what other support have you gotten from ETC Labs? Have you had a chance to talk to the developers?
Right, so the support is amazing. I mean, we got to talk to developers, we are able to work in the lab, we've got office space that we share with ETC. There is an open discussion about the things that we want to do, not only on the technical side, but also on the business side. And I believe that in a few months, everybody would be hearing about a new way to manage IoT data using the blockchain, a way that overcomes the core challenges in IoT, a way where we could scale to address all the IoT data in the world in real time.
It's a
So
big
I'm very
project.
excited. It's a huge project, super amazing project.
Do you think, because now you're working with not only, the ETC Labs dev team, but you're also working with these other 11 projects. Is there any project you think, has a future with Anylog?
Well, I think that there are a few projects even here that deal with data, and data that is have the characteristics of being time series data. And I've started to speak with some of those projects about leveraging our technology and working together, where we could be the backend infrastructure for their data. So in most AI products need a core solution that could serve time series data efficiently, and that's what we're building.
So we want time series data. That's what we're looking for. Projects that need time series data.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Anybody in the house you think of that has time series data?
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember their name. What's
It's okay.
well, we'll put the name. We'll put the question. But there are this project which does AI. What's their name?
So there's Kryzen that's doing the algorithmic trading. We also have
The guys from India. What's their name?
Statwig
I think so.
that are doing logistics tracking.
Yeah. I
The
think
vaccines.
so, yeah, the vaccines guy. So the vaccines guy is is a good example, because their problem is that there is huge amounts of data, and managing a huge amount of data is very expensive. If you go to the cloud, the cost of managing IoT data on the cloud is very expensive. If you build the infrastructure yourself, the backend databases yourself, again, it's very expensive and very time consuming.
Right.
And we could give them an out-of-the-box solution where the idea is they take their data, the vaccine data, send it to the network, and they can immediately run queries against their data without any effort, without building backend infrastructure, and without the need to pay to cloud providers that would manage or service.
Yeah, they just pay gas cost instead.
Right.
So, wrapping this up, what should people be looking forward to next coming from Anylog? What's the next big announcement that you're really excited about?
Yeah, I mean, our prototype or the initial version is moving forward, and in a few months we'll have a very, very impressive product to show. It wouldn't be ready. I mean, we planned the product to be launched in about a year from now, but I would say in 3-4 months we'll have a very impressive demo. I mean, the idea is we and ETC would present in big conference where we'll make an announcement of this network, IoT network that we're building on top of ETC, and I have no doubt that we'll get a lot of attention from not just the blockchain community, also from the IoT community. There is also a technical paper that the researchers are writing, which is going to receive a lot of attention because it's really about a very new and a very efficient way to manage IoT data, something that wasn't done until now, and something that overcomes the main problems in blockchain. So we're not, what's interesting here, maybe we could wrap with this. What's interesting here, we're not bounded by the blockchain inclusion latency. So this is a solution that scales to address all the IoT data in real time.
And we're going to need to have a follow-up video to get more information on how you're doing that. Everyone, thank you for tuning in. Moshe, awesome having you.
Thanks
you
for
the
having
time.
me here.
And
great to be here.
looking forward to doing this again next week. Take care.
Thanks.